Welcome, folks. Welcome to the Goldwater. This is Major James Burdock. I am the editor of the Goldwater, and I just want to have you take a deep breath for the last time and take a look at the title of our show, Don't Forget to Breathe. This is really important, folks. Don't forget to breathe. Now, that sounds like something a shrink would say to you, but the title of the show came from my girlfriend, who's she's got a really twisted sense of humor, and when she says this, it especially right before you're going to sleep and you have apnea, don't forget to breathe. That is, it's one of the most terrifying things because she laughs, she's just laughing at you. Here's the reason for it. We came across a huge amount of information this week. It's all going through. The channels are up. I mean, 8chan is doing what it should be this week. That's the reason that it's on. That's the reason that we've got this network here. So we'll be getting into JFK very, very soon. Hopefully we've got Diana Prince joining us, and we hope to hear from our esteemed colleague, Phil. About that, because we need everyone to weigh in on this. Don't forget to breathe, folks. Don't forget to breathe. I'm going to tell you a little story before this happens. No problem. The first blue water experience I ever had, which means that you're going offshore, you're getting onto a little boat, you're entrusting your life with a captain, and that's it. That's all you provision for. I mean, once you leave, you ain't gonna pick up anything else aside from fish, and we were never any good at fishing. So when you get out and you're sailing, say from San Francisco to Panama direct, you're at the whim of so many different things. You're at the whim of the weather. And one of the most important things is the attitude, the demeanor of people on the boat that can be more destructive than the weather in some cases, although really you don't want to mess around with Mother Nature. We came across, I think we were probably 30 days into the trip. And we were becalmed, which means, and I had never seen this before. I didn't understand. I thought that the ocean was always had waves. I mean, you look at it and it looks like it always has waves in it. When I say becalmed, this area of water on this planet was becalmed, which means nothing. You could throw a pin into the water and see the ripples coming off of it. It was flat, going all the way across. And I'd like to also give a nod to Redfoot out there, because this was one experience that I had that, hey, everything did look flat when this happened. There's only so much work you can do on the boat, and pretty soon you want to get off the boat. And it's safe, it's flat. So you take a dock line, make sure it's secured to a cleat on the boat, and then you tie it around your ankle and jump off. And you float. And you go to sleep. Don't forget to breathe. Don't forget to breathe. You sleep in the ocean, tied to a Norseman 447 cutter rig sloop 400 miles off the coast of Ecuador. Don't forget to breathe. We're going to start with that thought, folks, and then let's go ahead and fire up the computer, and we're going to get into it. I mean, what? Wow. All right. Conspiracy theories. Wow. I want to hear everything. Let's take them in order from the nuttiest to the first. Who killed JFK? Okay, I mean, the one thing that I tell my friends is that I think it was a Morton Salt Company because, JFK was doing some sort of regulation with the price of iodine. There are so many theories out There. And boy, do we run into a tech. I need a laptop.
Oh,
Do we have a spare laptop?
Jacob? I guess you might need to borrow that
Is that okay?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna need to.
one.
Apparently my laptop forgot to breathe, so it's dead. We do have a. We do also have a, continuing on with the Goldwater Eats section, we do have a new video. We showed you a wonderful video about Bananas Foster last time. We're going to go ahead and show you one today about a cocktail that I made. And this is something I guarantee you no restaurant would dare serve you. This is a cocktail so wicked, I didn't even drink it. So we'll have to get into that, folks. Is this a Mac or what is this? Where would I type a URL? Ah, here we go. So let's go to the goldwater.com and we're going to start taking a look at, we're going to just run through a few stories here. The stuff that we've been doing on JFK is in the pipes, folks. It's in the pipes. We've got way too much that's going on right now that I can't even tell you. But we're going to look at a couple of things. Okay, let's take a look at this one. This is interesting. We're going to just keep with politics for the moment. Sexual harassment. Here's a question for you guys. How do you cash in on it? How? I mean, if there's a time, if there is a, Megyn Kelly was in on this from the, oh man, boy, did she think she was getting a good deal with Rupert Murdoch. And man, it seems like it happens everywhere. I got to be honest with you folks, a little bit old school here, but I don't mind a little grab ass in the office, right? That's probably one of the reasons that we're in the Philippines. By the way, where is Abby?
She's on the way.
She's on her way. Send a message.
Yeah, okay. I hope she's listening to this. No, harassing women is part of the workplace. If you look at the 1950s, we had the largest disposable income of any period of time in American history. We had the largest disposable income. And why? Because men went out to work. They grabbed their secretaries' asses. They were happy at work. Women went home. They went and did their thing. And the women that did work, yeah, there was some sort of liberation. We are completely on our heads right now, folks. I mean, completely backwards from the 1950s. People who were live in the 1950s are probably looking and saying, these youngsters, this is, I remember, Maggie from The Office. And it was okay. It was expected to have a little grab ass at the office. Am I wrong in saying that? Yeah, of course I am, right? But why? Why am I wrong in saying that? It is nature. If you define the culture of your company, probably one of the most successful companies, the most professionally run companies that I have seen, that I talked to the attorney, the lead attorney at, he's a private attorney for kink.com. He works directly for Peter Ackworth. Peter Ackworth is if y'all don't know who Kink is, he runs one of the largest pornography companies. He's been on the cover of Forbes magazine. And I asked him, what is sexual harassment? I mean, your business is sex. So how does that work in the workplace? He said, we don't have it. There's no, probably some of the most professionally behaved people, according to today's standards, are working in porn. Okay. So, and I was just fascinated because I'm speaking with their attorney about this, and I was fascinated. Do you guys get lawsuits? And no, it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. They're paid for sex, and when they come in, it's, it is a business. They get paid to get beaten on. They get paid to beat other people. Kink.com is a fetish site. And by the way, they are renting out the Armory in San Francisco. So Peter Ackworth still does own the Armory in San Francisco. And those of you who aren't familiar with it, go ahead and go online and take a look at this building. This is a historical landmark in San Francisco. If you've ever been inside the Armory, wow. We have an executive here who spent some time in San Francisco. Have you ever been over to the Armory, Toby? Have you been inside? Have you seen the pools, the torture chambers?
Oh yeah.
Right. Have you ever gotten lit up? You ever get lit up?
Oh no.
You've never been in the trough? Okay.
Just,
But you've had a tour of the Armory.
yeah, my favorite was the room where they like their workshop. Where they build up
Yeah.
sex machines. They
Yeah.
got, like, a whole wall for every tool you can think of.
Yeah. Definitely. I mean, if you need a hex, a 5mm hex, those guys have it. Definitely. They have metric. I think most of those guys work in metric. I don't know. But a lot of those guys, you really don't want to look in the eye. It's just some weird stuff. But okay,
Well,
so.
when I was there, so they did this tour at the bottom, and they did the wrestling thing.
Oh, yeah.
So you watch them do the wrestling match, and then afterwards you go up the stairs for a party, and there was this midget named the tripod.
The tripod. Okay.
Because his dick was as long as his leg.
His dick is as long as his legs. Oh my God. Okay. So did you guys go out and have drinks or?
No.
Yeah. But I mean, when you were there, did you get the feel? I mean, it felt like an office, aside from the weirdness, right?
They got offices. They got
Yeah.
lounge area.
I mean, people work there. It's not just people screwing. Yeah. And the no sexual harassment claims, none. And they're in the dungeon. They're in the Armory. So I mean, I dare you folks to maybe take a look. There's probably some photos of it. They don't like people photographing inside aside from their own stuff. But yeah, take a look at this building, folks. And apparently they are renting out this building for other space, for other use. I think it's close to, what is it? Something like 90,000 square feet?
Yeah, it's an entire city block.
Yeah, it's basically a whole city block.
That stone building.
Yeah, I mean, it's the Armory, folks. It was meant to house things that go boom. So, the other thing that I want to talk about before we get into JFK is how to make a bomb. Now, I know we shouldn't be talking about it, but I was floating in my pool last night, and we got a pool on the top of my building here, and I just was looking up at the moon, and everything was beautiful. And I was just thinking, when I relaxed, I was thinking about destroying something. And as I often do when I get to a state of complete relaxation. Let's talk about making bombs, folks. Let's not pussyfoot around the whole subject. Yes, you can go ahead and go online and find everything that you need to. And you're not going to learn anything from me aside from how not to get killed by your own bomb. All right, that's what we're talking about. But for those of you that are actually going to be building, let's take a deep breath. All right, don't forget to breathe. Your detonating device is the most important feature of what you're constructing. What you are constructing will help the world. First of all, never make a bomb that's going to kill someone. All right? Don't ever make something that is going to kill or harm a human being. If you don't like squirrels, that's not my business. Okay? There are plenty of wonderful triggering devices out there. We can get into that later. You can trigger bombs through humidifiers. You can trigger them on a barometer. If the weather changes, it will go off. Okay? That's what we're going to be talking about. What is your triggering device? I'm not going to tell you how to make a bomb. You already know. All of us do. But what is going to trigger that? What is going to detonate that bomb? Now, for a lot of people, they're triggered 100%. Those people are called progressives. Progressives. They've already been triggered. Somebody flipped the switch, and they can't turn it off. Okay, you as a rational human being, a thinking person, you can decide when to detonate and lay waste, absolute waste, to the filth of the planet that's going around right now. And I want to talk about climatology. I want to talk about nonsense, fake news. Our president talks about fake news. Fake news, folks. Fake news. So we're going to go a roundabout and say, yes, President Trump again was right. Again, he was right. And not only was he right about the fake dossier, which everybody thought, oh my God, okay, what kind of nonsense this started. And what people aren't remembering is that this started on the channel networks, folks. This guy who was credited, these people that Hillary Clinton went to, paid $500,000 to create this Trump dossier. That was pulled off of the channel networks. They didn't do the work. Regular people like you and I, anons, did the work. They pulled it off, and they thought, "Oh, how clever! He was in the Four Seasons in Moscow, and he paid a bunch of girls to pee on the same bed that Obama was sleeping in. Isn't that great?" $500,000, man. I've got some stories that might be worth more. I don't know, but amazing, absolutely amazing, what's going on in the world. That somebody got paid $500,000 to disseminate that story. And somebody at the FBI, and including, hey, John McCain, I'm sorry, I don't want anyone to die of brain cancer, but if seriously, if anyone is deserving of it, fuck. Man, he's the guy that picked it up and allowed the FBI to start using it, and he's a roundabout, and he's supposed to be a Republican. My God, the only reason this man gets elected is because all of the voters in his district, in the state of Arizona, must be under some sort of, I don't know. I'm so glad that Trump also banned fentanyl, because I mean, there's got to be a reason that this guy gets reelected, and there has to be. It has to be a drug reason. It's not a reason. There isn't a reason to. This man is a filthy, horrible human being. Terrible. And he's not a war hero. You're not a hero just by getting captured and tortured. He's a coward. He is a coward. He started as a coward. He was captured as a coward. He gave information to the enemy. I don't care if he lived. He probably should have been dead. The whole world would have been a better place. Instead, here's a man who takes his capture in Vietnam and uses it against the public's will. Terrible, awful human being. John McCain, rot in fucking hell, okay? Terrible. You are a terrible, terrible man. I'm about done with you. We'll talk about triggering devices later on McCain. My God, what an idiot. Seriously, I can't say enough. I mean, really, I'm not done. I think, it's like I wake up and I think life is beautiful aside from John McCain. Really. I mean, really, the world would be so much better if he was just dead. Right? So, now let me know what you folks think about that. We've got the lines open. And no, I'm not even being close to harsh about this. So we're going to run through it. JFK. All right, let's get to it. Man, no, you know what? I am not done with McCain. The Trump dossier went full circle on these people, and what a bunch of amateurs. They got caught with their pants down. They obviously never. And here's the arrogance. This has to do with McCain. The arrogance was that none of this would ever have come to light because now Donald Trump is president of the United States. And they never thought that would ever be a possibility. They never, certainly not a reality. So all of the stuff that they were doing, we'll just sweep it under the carpet when Hillary's president. Can you imagine Hillary Clinton being president of the United States? What do you think the stock market would be looking like today? What do you think immigration would look like today? What do you think Twin Falls, Idaho would look like today if Hillary Clinton was president? Refugees. We would become a refugee nation. The very idea, what do you think trade would look like? Everything would be sold to whoever had the most money. And believe me, lots of other people outside of the United States have money. And boy, do they like that foreign money, especially the Saudi money. Huma Abedin is a Saudi plant. She is a Saudi spy from the get-go. She was placed in that position. And Clinton knows it. Everyone knows it. We're talking about an agent of a foreign government, a spy, who would have been the right-hand woman or whatever Huma is to Hillary in the highest seat of power in the world. Do you really want somebody with that poor judgment? I like the fact that Trump fires people. He should. He should consider everybody should go to work and think, well, I might get fired today. They shouldn't dwell on it. But damn it, know that if you're in that position in government, if you're in that level, wow, it's a huge responsibility and some people can't take it. I am so grateful that Donald Trump is the president of the United States. I think that he has stopped something absolutely terrible that was in place, and he's slowly realizing that it's going to have to coexist because you can't kill it. But that's when we start talking about detonating, folks. The enemy is triggered. You can pull the trigger whenever you want. When you do it, make sure you have the facts. JFK. Toby, who killed JFK? I mean, I joke about the Morton Salt Company. I've watched pretty much every documentary out there. I mean, what's your take on it?
I'm suspicious of Ted Cruz's father.
Well, Ted Cruz is Zodiac, so... Oh, right. Okay, so yeah, Ted Cruz's father was pictured with Castro's. Yeah, there's some angles on that. That's not cool. I mean, we all have our 6 degrees of separation, but on a bacon factor, have you heard of the bacon number?
Oh, right. 6.
Right. What movie what's the degree of separation? Like Rene Rousseau has a bacon factor. I don't know. You can look it up online, and you type in. There's a website. It's called the bacon number or bacon factor, and it'll give you like Jack Nicholson has a bacon number. Pretty much every director or actor has a bacon number, but. You're running for president? What's your bacon number on Lee Harvey Oswald? I mean, we should do bacon number Lee Harvey Oswald. Yeah? What's the degree of separation? It's not like that guy doesn't look like he was very social, okay? I mean, he had his own little groups, and he was pro-Castro, anti-Castro. He did a bunch of stuff. But this guy, chances are, if you knew Lee Harvey Oswald for any period of time, you're pretty weird, or tied up in something. Jack Kennedy was killed by the mob, all right? That's what happened, folks. I find it ironic. I find it really weird that after such a huge period of time that these documents are coming out, and we've got more today, that...
Pizza delivery?
Did we get pizza?
Oh, cheese pizza is here.
Oh, I thought you really... Oh, I was so hungry. I thought we were getting...
Got
Oh,
a big order of cheese pizza there. Here she comes.
pizza. Oh, wow, look at it. Wow. So,
Hello, sorry, I'm late.
hey, that's...
My Halloween costume is
Yo, you're doing your
Late
Halloween
Filipino with
Halloween
the-
costume. We haven't even gotten to the beverages yet. So,
Oh, okay. I
yeah.
have my own
Oh, okay. Oh, what'd you get?
Vita milk.
With and that's got vodka in it. Oh, wow. Okay.
Vodka milk.
Vodka milk.
We just have one.
I have carbonated milk, folks, as well. So this is a new one. Can I feature your drink here?
Sure.
Okay. We're gonna go to the beverage section, folks. Wow, this is cool.
It tastes so good. Don't drink it. That's my.
Vita Milk energy, Vita Milk, and it's in a bottle here. Now, one thing in the Philippines is that anything that's
It's here.
with glass,
Camera too.
anything with glass is going to be less expensive. Believe it or not, if you like a can of beer, costs about 30% more if it comes in a can here. But this is a bottle of Vita Milk, and you're saying that this is nutritious?
Diana, you're on the wrong side of the... Come on,
What?
sit over on this side of the...
This?
The camera can see your face.
Ah. Oh wait.
Right.
Am I doing this? I still have hangover.
Hi.
Am I here?
Yes. Don't.
Not.
The name of the show is "Don't Forget to Breathe."
Yeah.
Yeah. So thanks for bringing the Vita Milk in.
It tastes so good.
We have another milk product here that we'd like to feature. It's called Milkies. And I don't think Milkies.
Wow.
Now, I don't know how often you come across carbonated milk, but I just did. And let's go ahead and try that. I've never tried this before. Let's go ahead and try carbonated milk. And it does it.
Carbonated milk.
It's carbonated milk. Let's give it a go.
This is a good one. So good. It's so good. What?
No, something.
Can you guys
Oh
hear
my
me?
gosh.
What the hell is that?
There's a worm inside the.
Oh my god!
Oh my god, ew!
Holy
Ew.
shit.
Yes, there's a worm.
Can you guys hear me?
There's a
Oh
worm.
god! All right, here's a lawsuit, folks. Can we?
There's a worm.
That's a fucking worm.
There's a worm.
I just opened this and drank it.
Ew!
Oh my god!
Hold it up to
Oh my
the...
god. Hold it. I can hold
Here,
it.
do you have a piece of paper?
Oh my god! It
It's
looks like an alien.
It is. It's no. Okay, do not drink this brand of milk. This is terrible. This was right on. Oh god, disgusting! I'm gonna get sick.
No.
Uh,
Your immune system is strong.
No. I mean, I'm not worried
Right?
about like.
You ate.
No, it's just
Terrible
the thought of
things.
it. I don't have trichophobia, but that's like anyone would get freaked
This
out by
looks-
this.
Oh my god.
I'm not
Okay.
gonna drink this the
All
way
right.
it looks.
Here, just a piece of paper.
Yeah, get a piece
I'm
of
just
paper.
gonna hold it.
Yeah, okay, but we need to put it on white and show it. That just went in my mouth. That's oh, this is disgusting. Okay,
wait.
who makes this stuff?
Stay there.
Me.
Oh, great. Yeah. Okay.
Stay
So,
right there.
That just came out of this can, folks. That is the most disgusting thing. Okay, who makes this?
Can you guys hear me?
Okay, me.
Bill?
Koreans.
Too low.
Beverage Company Limited, Korea. Thank you. Thank you. That was just in my mouth. It came out of this can right
You're
here.
gonna die today.
Oh no. That's like
Documented proof.
that is just disgusting.
It has ice.
We were trying new beverages and oh man, I don't want to stop trying new beverages.
I take a picture.
Okay, Bear Brand milk. I need to drink something else.
You drink the
This
bear
is just
bar-
terrible.
You drink the bear brand with the ginkgo. I mean,
Oh, the ginkgo stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jane likes that.
ginkgo bit. What? The ginseng.
Yeah, ginseng.
That one is good.
Okay, so that worm just came out of this can. Okay.
Wait,
That is the most disgusting, terrible thing, and that's beverage
It came from my
beverage
face.
company.
Look, I have
No, it
this.
came from Korea. That's a Korean worm.
have a
That is a
map.
Korean worm. All right, let's get a good shot of the can. Let's get a good shot of the can here because
This is for you.
great, I'll keep it.
Keep
Never
it.
drink milky.
Oh, that's just disgusting.
Drink
I don't know.
vitamin
Actually,
D.
I'm like
Outside of the can.
that was in my mouth. That's fucking-
Extra protein. Ew.
oh,
Oh my
Did
god.
it wriggle?
no, it wasn't alive.
Whoa.
It's not alive, it's dead, but
Why
it's a
are
worm.
you selling stuff with worms in it? Beverage Company Limited, Korea. Okay, Beverage Company Limited, Korea. It's right on the can there. You see it?
Yeah.
You see it?
Liquid.
Listen, we're gonna have to avoid some sort of legal action here. Go ahead and give us a call. Make a donation to the Goldwater. Do the right thing.
You know,
Do
I've,
the right thing. Pay
you
for some
know-
of our bandwidth
you know,
over here.
I've experienced worse.
Oh.
Like inside the Coca-Cola, there's a little, like a snake on it.
A snake? You
A
gotta.
snake on it.
Oh.
There's a snake on my Coca-Cola bottle before.
Oh.
And there's rats in some canned goods.
Okay.
I'm not
Rats.
gonna mention which.
Oh man. All right, I'm gonna
I
try.
just mentioned
all right.
Coca-Cola.
Let's feature another beverage because obviously
Oh my God, I'm
this
gonna get
one this one obviously we're not recommending.
No, milk is.
Milk doesn't. It shouldn't have worms in it. I prefer my milk without worms. Okay.
But
I
it
mean, I
has
was
the
excited.
good
It was
bacteria on it,
carbonated milk. I was
The
all,
good
all
bacteria
excited.
in the milk.
And the first time I tried carbonated milk, it's got a worm in it.
Can you
What's
guys hear
wrong?
me?
Wait, what's carbon? I forgot.
Carbon dioxide, carbonated. It's frosted. You know, it's like the idea of having an effervescent milk
Hello?
was, you know, that's new to us Westerners, and obviously it's going to be foreign to me forever.
It
I'm
looks
never
like this,
going
oh.
to drink
The worm
carbonated
look
milk
like this.
again,
It's
ever.
very sad.
Look at this worm, and that's not a. Oh my god. This is just.
This is gonna stay there.
Oh man, and it's big and plump.
See, it has eyes.
Oh man, I bet if you chewed it, stuff would come out and squirt something. Oh, gross. All right, well,
Happy
Hello?
Halloween.
we're done. Yeah, there's my Halloween present. So
I brought
we're
it.
gonna switch quickly over to Mogu Mogu.
Hi, Mogo Mogo.
Mogu Mogu.
Who's this?
And which one do we have here?
Bill.
Hello.
Oh, is
Hello,
Phil on the
Phil.
line?
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, but you're speaking like you're so far in your mic.
Huh. Well, I'm always there, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I can-
Hey,
dang it.
Phil, how are you?
I'm doing all right. It wouldn't be Sunday without technical difficulties, I guess.
Well,
I always
yeah.
have something going on like that, yeah.
Yeah, well, we just opened a can of milk over here, and I don't even want to tell you what happened. I mean, it
I
was
heard
just-
about that.
oh my Lord.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, like for tequila, that's customary, but for milk, even carbonated, I like mine warm.
You know, I can deal with a worm in tequila if it's meant to be there, but yeah, we need to preserve that. Send it to the attorney.
Hint, we don't have one.
It's not disgusting.
Drink your Mogo Mogo.
I'm drinking Mogu Mogu, which is strawberry This
with
is
with the aloe vera on it.
strawberry aloe vera, and
Yeah.
now I'm checking everything for because this has little bits of stuff in it, like little things, and now I'm checking for
Aloe vera
worms.
tidbits.
Now everything I drink, I'm gonna have to look at. It's gonna have to come in a clear bottle. I'm gonna have to check it for worms. Thank you, beverage company limited in Korea. I appreciate that.
Which Korea?
Oh, we got this from
Yeah,
Korea?
exactly. Which
Yeah,
is the
You
beverage.
got that from Korea?
Well, look, that's where it went.
Oh, it has Kim Jong-un on it.
Yeah, that's a Kim Jong. Woohoo! So what's shaking in your disco, Phil? Who killed JFK?
Oh,
Oh wow. You know, that's one that I've been following for years and years and years. Like, you know, probably one of the first things that got me hooked on the whole conspiracy side of things in, 92 or 91 or 92, the JFK movie came out, and I was just like 8 or 9, but I perked up just the idea that I mean, like me personally, just looking at what was released before this week, FBI and CIA admitted that they helped with the cover up. By the late 90s, we knew that the Warren Commission was falsified, that the magic bullet was a fake theory. I personally think that that A, there might have been two Oswalds, and B, the Oswald that we know of was, of course, a patsy, but he was also working with, about that Services Unlimited LLC, the guys in New Orleans who were a front for the CIA,
Yeah.
and he was closely involved with them, and he was using their address when he was doing the whole anti-Castro thing. And yes, the CIA has been closely involved with anti-Castro groups forever. One of the chicks
do
who
anything squirrely, New Orleans is the town to do it in.
exactly, yes,
Yep.
New Orleans, Las Vegas, Chicago, New York. Yeah, there's certain places. LA. That's why. What's his name? RFK was shot in on the West Coast in corrupt California. They lost the door, But yeah, like with the Kennedy assassination, it was such a flub up. How do you lose a brain?
Yeah.
I mean, how do you lose a brain? And it was so obviously a coup. Obviously, LBJ had something to do with it. I believe that the Bush family had something to do with it. They were in Texas, the Zapata Oil Company, which had, let's see, 63, 13 years later, George Bush would be thanked for his part in the Kennedy assassination by being promoted to the head of the CIA. So yeah, I think the CIA, quite possibly the Mossad and the Mafia, it was one of those deals where, like, who didn't want it done? Sure, he was a beloved populist, but that's just yet another reason why every entrenched power would be out to get him. The Columbia University speech, like I said, this is some of the stuff that got me on the road towards studying conspiracies and finding out a lot of them aren't just theories. But he made that speech about there's been a vast plot fomented against the American public, and I'm going to do everything I can in my power to expose that before 8 days later he's shot.
Yeah.
But yeah, Oswald was obviously a patsy. You don't just get over to the Soviet Union and marry a KGB officer's daughter and then get close to the president. You don't get back in the U.S., much less close to the president.
Yeah.
It's really ridiculous.
Amazing. And you're right. There's so many people that wanted that man dead.
I think it was a concerted effort.
say
Not everybody was on the same page.
Oh God, I'm sorry. You're here.
Murdoch, you look like a Filipino cop.
Oh, I look like a Filipino cop. Okay.
That picture.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Sorry to jump in here. Oh, I look like a Filipino cop with the shirt.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that cap.
We went
you're
shopping
wearing?
for guns yesterday.
What?
We went shopping for guns yesterday.
Oh.
Yeah. I can't buy one. Oh, hey.
You can't because you're a foreigner.
See, isn't that good?
You
What do you
should
think?
took me. I can buy a gun for you.
Oh no, I have a girlfriend.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so we went shopping for guns yesterday.
And then?
It's so cute. It's so nice. It's a Glock. It's a 380.
Mm-hmm.
And
For real? That's for real?
yeah, we have to do all the paperwork and everything, but we're just starting. So yeah, I want her armed. Yeah, I want her to start shooting people.
She's gonna look more hot.
She can do extrajudicial killings.
What?
Here, you get paid $400 a head to kill people here. It's true. I shouldn't
How
be
come I
talking
don't
about
know
It's
that?
only if you're drug
Don't talk
dealers.
about that.
Yeah, I shouldn't be talking about that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, sorry we got sidelined on that. I don't know. Are you able to see the live stream right now, Phil?
Yeah, I finally got back on here.
So
Oh,
you
by the
see the
way,
devil
I
horns?
love the glow in the dark horns, Diana. That's great.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at.
Is it glowing?
It is totally glowing.
This is the lazy. I'm so lazy.
So,
Lazy Halloween costume.
so I mean, what's the end of this? Is anyone? I mean, certainly, the hope is that we would find something out. We're finding more stuff out. Is it just going to deepen the conspiracy with JFK, or what's the deal on that?
Do you know what a barium meal trap or a canary trap is?
No, tell us.
Okay, so check this out. You're trying to find out if you got leakers. Reality Winner, they got her because there's evidently tiny little dots. When The Intercept published it, there was a wrinkle in the paper, but it wasn't the wrinkle that got her busted. There's tiny little dots. And so you check out these tiny little dots and you can see it's like a watermark, right?
Mhm.
Barium meal or canary trap is where you slightly change the wording on something or feed
Oh,
certain
gotcha.
people different sets of disinformation to each of your possible leakers. And the problem with all these files is some of that invariably is that, and we will never know which is which. But yeah, so the whole limited hangout thing, like anything important was burnt decades ago, and the rest is quite possibly canary trap fodder and more limited hangout, and leads pointing everywhere to make people waste their time and pull out their hair. I'm afraid that's the case, anyways. Uh, from what I've seen, and I haven't really, believe it or not, I haven't really dug into it because I got a couple other stories that have been really eating up a lot of my time. The Kai the hitchhiker thing and this 15-year-old honor student with the facing a felony for CBD. So yeah, that and the fact that call me lazy, but like you name dropped 8chan earlier. Instead of being there on the first day at the first minute and downloading the stuff and run through, I've already realized that, like, here's the thing. You let some of the good diggers take care of that the first 24 to 48 hours, and then the ground's broken.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But, yeah, from what I've seen, there's some interesting tidbits. But on the whole, it really feels like, that whole bit about, oh, then there were 10,000 that we forgot to redact.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So, and I understand if there's people still alive and blah, 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 blah. Which, by the way, speaking of the Zodiac Killer himself, that guy did look like his dad in the picture with Oswald. And I can totally see Ted Cruz's dad being like, yeah, sure, I'm an immigrant. I'm going to work with the CIA. And one day my son will be the first Cuban American to be the president,
Speaking of which, let's talk a little bit about Kai the hitchhiker.
Oh,
I mean,
wow.
you did this incredible interview, and the first part, the story, the first segment is just a compelling story. But yeah, just let everybody know. I mean, who is Kai?
Yeah. Oh, wow. This, the last little bit of notes I've been taking, I'm trying to distill it to where, I've got, well, let me just start at the beginning. This kid, Caleb McGilvery, better known as Kai the Hitchhiker, he was became virally famous when, what was it? A guy picked him up. He's hitchhiking. This guy says, just opens up to him. I raped a girl. She was 14 in the Virgin Islands. And the guy's, telling him all this and explains that, and recently I've realized that I'm Jesus Christ and I can do whatever I want. The guy runs into this utility worker and pins him up against a vehicle. and then gets out of the car and starts chasing down this female bystander. And Kai's got a hatchet. He takes the flat end, the handle end, and knocks the dude out. So, you know, he did this interview for the local Fox affiliate, and people loved him because, you know, he starts out with, and he's told that to me on the phone. He's just a really sweet, loving guy. And I'll go ahead and admit, I've lived in those sustained communities, so I don't fall for that, like, hippie halo effect. Some of those tree thuggers are no good, but my bullshit, my BS detector is kind of on point usually because I've run into too many users and abusers, and this kid seems genuine. So yeah, after that, he, you know, got used to, you know, he was on the Jimmy Kimmel show, Stephen Colbert, all this stuff. So he's getting used to, oh, hey, it's Kai the Hitchhiker. You want to come back and party? He's in New York's Times Square. He gets picked up by this guy named James Galfy. James Galfy's a 73-year-old lawyer in Union County in the township of Elizabeth in Union County, New Jersey. He picks up this hitchhiker, and it's funny because in looking back on it, I'm sure Kai's thought the same thing. He initially thought, oh, this is some guy who saw me on Jimmy Kimmel. But no, I don't think that's what it was. The guy said, oh, you look lost. And it says, hey, you want to come back to my place, have beer and some burgers? You know, so the guy takes him all the way back to New Jersey from New York City's Times Square, all the way back to New Jersey. And they're back at his place, and he feels like he's been, you know, he's like really hungover the next morning. He's got this residue over his face. And he's like, I don't know, you know, maybe I drooled on myself, whatever. Anyways, he's asking his friend there, saying, you know, I don't really want to go back to this guy's house. I just don't know what went on last night. He goes back to the guy's place. He doesn't have anywhere else to go. And this time, evidently, he's been drugged both times, and the guy's sexually assaulted him. The second time, he's holding him down, suffocating him in the carpet. He pushes back on his head. Evidently, it must have broken the guy's neck. He leaves. At some point, he changes his clothes. Evidently, he pissed his pants while he was being suffocated in the floor, and the guy's attempting to rape him, or raping him. This is the thing, though. This Galfy guy is a lawyer, and it's a good old boy small town. So the prosecutor doesn't mention that he's like best friends with the deceased. And so it turns into this whole cover-up job. It's been 4.5 years. He's been in isolation, gets it's 23 hours a day lockdown. He gets out for 1 hour a day out of this isolation cell. Anyway, so he told the cops when they picked him up that he was drugged and raped. Despite that, they didn't do a rape kit on him. They didn't test him for drugs. And let's see. I've read through the entirety of the available documents that were available through Motion of Discovery that he had copied and are now online. And it's just ridiculous that, you know, so much of this, so much wrong with this. Let's see. I got some notes here. There's issues with evidence being withheld, conflicts of interest. The brother of the deceased, the alleged rapist, the brother of the alleged rapist was allowed back into the house during an active investigation. At some point, a dishwasher was run, and some of the cups and mugs that were used were washed, and the rest of them were ordered. This is in Souter's Union County Sheriff's Office report. It's available online. They were ordered to wash out the bottles and let them air dry after they fumed them with cyanacrylate for prints, and then washed them out with fresh water and allowed them to dry instead of sending them off to toxicology to see if Kai's claim was true. The prosecutor says, no, there was no semen in the bed. That's because the rape took place on the carpet. He doesn't mention the fact that blood and semen are found on the alleged rapist's penis. Also, this is not a murder because in the state of New Jersey, you are authorized to use lethal force because rape is serious bodily harm. So there's no murder that's taken place here, but as you've seen, constitutional right to a speedy trial is 60 to 70 days. 70 days if it takes time to get results back from reports and things. And that's the only reason why it would take longer than that. But they're not testing the unidentified blood. Why didn't they test that blood? Probably because they'd find out it belongs to Kai. and that he had been raped, and that in such a case, this is not murder. And even if it were murder, even if there was no rape, then he can't be held for 4.5 years. He's got a motion to dismiss that's not being heard. There's a federal suit that would make several people in Union County liable, not only for punitive damages, which they definitely should pay. They've ruined this guy's life for nearly 5 years. But in addition to the punitive damages, I think some people need to go to jail. It's a felony, for instance, the guy that didn't do a rape kit and didn't drug test Kai, but then said, no, if it was a date rape drug, he would have been incapacitated and puking on the floor. No, on GHB, you can just go into a blackout. On Rohypnol, you can just go into a blackout state. And they wouldn't necessarily last for 12 hours and you're on the ground puking, unable to walk. So the guy's got, no basic understanding of pharmacological agents. So Kai complains to the Board of Medical Examiners in New Jersey. New Jersey says, well, he's not under our jurisdiction. He's not a licensed doctor. That's a felony right there. If you've got a victim of sexual assault, there's certain ways that they have to be processed, like running the rape kit, for instance. That's also a crime in this case. So at this point, the case, Kai's case should be thrown out, and a new investigation and possible detention should take place with certain culpable agents in the state who, hey, I'm going out on a limb here, I believe were involved in the cover-up. There were some high school age boys, young boys were on the guy's speed dial. I heard something about Russian photographers, and I have a feeling that, the guy's brother mentioned that, is there anybody who might want him dead? Well, there was a guy that, an indigent who came out to their parents' shore house. Now, why was there an indigent in the shore house? Because he brought back some rough trade. And when things didn't go the way he liked and the guy got pissed, they had him busted as, because the guy's brother at the time was the sheriff. He had his brother bust the guy. I wonder how many times this guy picked up hitchhikers, then had them drugged and jailed. I bet that's why Kai's still in jail. And they thought that they had an idiot here. They didn't count on him saving the information and showing where the prosecutors committed perjury and and the state has broken all these laws. But
So
yeah,
how can we help?
been
I mean,
over a year.
what do we need to do? Who do we need to talk to?
Right now, there is a GoFundMe, I believe. There's a guy, Lindy Urso, who is in New Hampshire or Connecticut, I can't recall. Lindy Urso may be interested in this case, and he's considered an expert, especially in cases dealing with murder and especially murders that involve sexual assault. So there's a GoFundMe. Let me see if I can find this. That was this guy, Joey Wachowski. I'm pronouncing his name wrong, I'm sure. But this is, I checked with Kai. This is evidently like it's legit and good to share. But yeah, so we're trying to raise money for defense, because he's not going to be tried fairly with. He had a public defender, and then he found pictures where the public defender is hanging out with the prosecutor, who's best friends with the deceased alleged / possible rapist, quite possible rapist, I'd say. I've noticed that there's a small troll army, possibly people involved in the cover-up who, there's been a smear job in the local and national media. It really kind of scares me, because they'd really like this thing to go away.
Well, it sounds sticky, but I don't think we have any other choice but to take your lead on this one.
Right. I mean, there's
the
just so many cases where even even if a rape didn't occur, they broke several laws. This kangaroo court and the sham trial. This is not how justice works in the United States of America. You can't just lock somebody up, throw away the key, and not give them a trial. And the only reason that they would get rid of evidence and not do all these things, mislead the grand jury, is if they had something to hide. I really do believe that.
Well, Let's figure it out. It sounds really sticky. It sounds
Yeah.
really sticky. But
The
hey,
the good old boy network doesn't want it to be tried, but if we got somebody from out of town, out of state, in lieu of a change of venue, they still won't give him a change of venue, even though he showed where, like, the main criminal court judge who was initially going to preside, he didn't recuse himself. He just stepped down and reassigned himself so that he wouldn't have to see the case. It stinks in a lot of ways.
I just had a thought. I think we should get a hold of. There's an attorney. His name's Bart Patterson.
Mhm.
And well, I'm sure he still has his license to practice. He's a president of a university at the moment, but he used to be lead counsel for the University of Las Vegas.
Okay.
Really, really sharp guy, and he takes one of these every once in a while,
Mhm.
just for sport. And
Right.
yeah, and you want to talk about a really sharp guy? This guy, oh man, wow, and totally unassuming. You wouldn't know that he's the smartest guy in the room.
What was
So
that they used to say back in the day? Bump for great justice.
yeah, I mean, something needs to happen with this. It sounds like there's a total miscarriage of justice, or what you're talking about. This is not how the legal system works in this
Yes.
country.
I'm proud to say, it had been about a year and a half since the last story came out about this case. And vocative or vocative, I don't know how you pronounce it.
Hmm.
Uh, Not to knock them, it was a nice story, and the sad tale of Kai the hitchhiker, and it pointed out that it was unfair the way he'd been treated. Unfair? Can we point out the statutes, please? Can we say whether it was Souter or Gardner's report? That's what we need right now. And I am proud to say the Goldwater, we broke the media silence,
Yeah.
and not just with the sad tale, but with the hard facts.
Now, can you tell
So
me
yeah,
you
if something does come of this, I think it'll be safe to say the Goldwater had a part in it.
Okay, absolutely, and let's continue to have a part. So you talked to him, and the story, the first portion of it is on the
I've
goldwater.com.
actually talked to him earlier today
Oh,
and
okay.
yesterday.
How's he doing?
I'm in part 5 of the interview. I've got probably about 4.5 hours of interview so far,
Okay.
and yeah, just I'd really like to just make sure that we have everything from the timeline on.
Yeah.
This kid really amazes me. He's in great spirits, considering, and he's been spending his time studying the law.
Mm.
He's at the moment pro se. He's defending himself, but of course, at the moment, like you said, since he's not able to access a law library, it's for the most part a fool's errand. So yeah, hoping we are able to definitely get him some help.
Well, obviously you have full authority. Just keep running with it. And
Hmm.
man, the first interview that you did. Now you contacted him. You had to send him a letter in
This is
jail.
what happened. There's Kai the Hitchhiker legal legal support page. It's an open Facebook page. You don't
Hmm.
even have to be a Facebook member to visit, I believe. And it's amazing. They've got about 150, 200 pages worth of the documents that were, even if they didn't show up in the hearing, you get to see them. And a lot of the important stuff doesn't show up. That's why it's nice to read the 100 pages of what the prosecutor says and then test it against the forensic report, test against the autopsy. Souter and Gardner were the investigating officers. There's some interviews with the 2 eyewitnesses, the McNamara's. You know, I want to be so intimate with this case that I feel like I should confess to a priest that we're not married yet.
Mm. Well, um, keep it running. How's he doing? I mean, you said you spoke with him earlier.
He's in good spirits and he's keeping his hope up. And by the way, that's another thing. If you do want to help, if you don't feel like shelling out the 49 cents I think it is for a stamp and sending a letter, You can just drop a message to the Kai the Hitchhiker legal support Facebook page. Send a message there. I sent a message, said I'd like to talk to him to do an interview, and they passed on my phone number, and he gave me a call. I had to put some money on the on the prison phone. It's
Oh,
actually
yeah.
a jail, but you have to. But it's actually really reasonable. $25. We're about four and a half hours in. I've still got $19 on there. So it's
Oh,
something
okay.
like 75 cents per call, and the call is like 29 or 30 or 40 minutes. So yeah, but yeah, in lieu of calling or sending a physical letter, you can just send a message to the Facebook page. There's expressing your support or whatever kind of you know. But yeah, it amazes me how positive this guy is, considering what he's facing. But I think part of that is there's like 11,000 people that support the little Facebook page and things. I've had about 1,500, close to 2,000 people visit the first interview video that was embedded at the Goldwater. So, despite the fact that there's been kind of a media blackout, there's definitely people who are following the case and would like to see something happen. And of course, that small army of trolls who I love, because every time they offer another, yeah, well, what about then I get on the phone with Kai. So the trolls said this, and then we debunk that directly. I love my haters. I love the trolls because they teach me how to tighten up my defense. Okay, here's what we do to shore up our arguments next time.
So how many years is he was he sentenced to?
He hasn't been sentenced. He hasn't
Okay.
been sentenced. He hasn't. Uh, he had an indictment. The indictment was thrown out, and they immediately re-indicted him.
So they're holding him. What's his bond?
$3 million.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah, they don't want him to get out
$3
and they don't
million
want him to see trial. $3 million. You don't
Wow.
understand. This is a good old boy who is good friends with everybody in the legal system, from the newbie cop on the block to the head of the criminal judges.
And a rapist at that.
And it sounds like he liked him young. Yeah.
Disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
You wanna hear more disgusting?
Yeah,
topic?
let's hear something really disgusting. Go for it.
Eproctophilia. Fart
Oh, I
fetish.
know what that means.
Oh man.
I just posted an article
Oh.
about a. Oh my god! I don't know.
Here
I
we
don't know
go.
if I'm the one
You're the one to talk
gonna
about it. Do
start
it.
talking about this.
Did you ever hear? Well, there was a guy in porn who's. I think they called him the Fart Man.
These are the people who has the fart fetish.
Have you ever lit your fart
Oh,
on
we did a
fire?
story about
Yeah, we
the
did a it's
Japanese
from
fart
Redfill,
cafe or
and
something.
oh my gosh, we're having a posting problem last night, and
Yeah.
my post didn't get through. This is like sex and fart fetish. That's basically a sexual fetish,
Uh-huh.
most
Yeah.
commonly in straight men. Like this dude will let a girl fart on their mouth,
Oh, okay.
Ew.
and they're like literally climaxing
Oh.
while they hear the girl's fart
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
like smell it.
So
When you
that was the
smell
most important.
something or taste it, that's because particles of it are attached to these receptors. That means the stuff is there. It means you're eating it.
God. Short
No.
alert.
All right, all right, all
Okay.
right. I got an open question. I mean, this is.
I'll pass on the gas.
Since we're traipsing in this
That's so
territory,
weird.
how many of you have lit your fart on fire?
No, I haven't tried. Maybe I can.
I know
Okay,
Is it
somebody
gonna?
We're
did
gonna have a
that
blue
and,
dart party.
accidentally
Oh my God!
they ended up,
Imagine the smell of it.
issued.
No, the
A
smell is
burning
actually
fart.
it's burning farts smell good.
Nothing.
uh,
Uh,
how about you, Phil? Have you ever lit a blue dart?
I'm too hairy to try that kind of stuff. I would end
Well,
up
no, you
like,
shouldn't be doing it. You never go bareback. You
was
And
that
always want to do
Moses
it
in the
and
through
for
a pair
burning
of
only
bush?
shorts.
See nothing on
$26,
Philip in his burning
you
bush.
can watch them do the live.
Just $26.
$26.50, and you can watch the fart fetish live performance.
So,
Like I said, I'll
should we
pass on the gas.
The fart show.
should we do one here? I mean,
No,
26
no,
bucks.
you're gonna do it. No.
That'll pay for lunch.
26, no, we need at least $200 or like more
Well,
for
we can
lunch.
get 10 of us in here. So, all right. So I'm the only person in the room that's lit a fart on fire.
You.
No, no, okay.
Oh, no.
Never?
I'm not into
Farting.
eschatology.
You've never lit a blue dart?
Now, I've been in many rooms where farts were lit on fire.
But you
I mean,
never
I don't
lit
want
one.
you to
How
think
is it?
I'm like entirely highbrow or something.
It's fascinating to watch flames come out of you.
It's gonna turn blue.
It's a blue dart, yeah. Typically,
I
sometimes they're
haven't seen
orange.
one.
Depends
My
on what
gosh,
you
I'm.
eat. Oh, you haven't
I need,
seen one?
Yeah, I need to.
Okay,
go
so
once.
yeah, we're gonna go to Chili's. Yeah,
Are you
you have
ready
to
to
turn off
fart?
all the
Turn the
lights.
lights.
No, I don't.
And that's
We need
it.
to go to
How about
Chili's.
Jacob? Are you
They're
ready
lighter,
to
right?
fart?
Weird.
Okay.
Lights
I'm
are-
ready to
Maybe
fart.
Murdoch is gonna do it.
No,
She's
I
got a
can't.
fart ready.
I can't flame.
Yeah,
I
she's
don't.
got a fart ready.
Or do you?
Yeah, hey.
I'll light it.
Turn this one off.
Why me?
Okay, here we go.
Oh my
Wait, the
gosh.
blue one should be off. Do that.
Okay,
There,
No,
okay.
I'm not ready to fart.
Let's get it going.
hang on.
Maybe
I
Bulldog.
got a lighter. Hang on here.
Don't let me fart.
Oh wait, where's my lighter? Oh no. I didn't bring a lighter or keys.
How are you gonna light the fart?
I don't know. I need a lighter.
Call yourself
But I
a
don't-
survivalist.
Yeah.
You got Flint, at least?
Flint, yeah. Maybe we should rub some sticks together, do it old school.
Maybe we can watch. Oh, that one.
Oh yeah, okay, blue darts,
It's not
yeah.
blue. It's pink.
It's
Well,
big.
yeah, it depends on what you eat, I think.
Maybe mine will turn red.
But the most incredible thing, okay, the first time that I ever saw a girl do it, believe it or not, was in Switzerland. You wouldn't think, I mean, because Swiss girls are really, they're very, you know, you wouldn't just
Slow?
expect them to just lay back on the floor and start lighting their farts on fire.
Switzerland.
Yeah, in Geneva.
Mm.
I mean, out of all the countries that I've been in the world, the last place that I would ever expect a girl to start lighting her farts on fire would be in Geneva, in Switzerland. I mean, it's
So you're
you
just
know.
gonna let the lighter on and then you'll fart on it.
Yeah, you got to roll on your back so everybody can see you, and then you fuega and then you let it out, and the bigger the better. It's so sorry, we were having a really serious conversation. It just deteriorated into lighting
Dang.
farts.
I haven't tried.
Okay, well, so we'll have to get you some baked beans.
No, I need to try it myself first.
Yeah, you need to. Your first one, it needs to be alone. It's a very
Yeah,
private
it's very
thing.
private.
Yeah.
And I might record it.
Light some candles. Have a glass of chamomile. Or maybe a nice
Glass
glass
of wine.
yeah, like I don't know, maybe a Malbec. A nice. There's some decent Malbecs here that you can. Yeah, nice glass of red wine.
Japanese people are so
Maybe
bizarre.
some mood music, something. Maybe some Vivaldi. Vivaldi would work for blue darts.
Mm.
I would recommend Vivaldi. So yeah, do it, and then we'll get you up on the table next show after we
What?
feed you a bunch of beans, and we'll do nothing but light farts. How about that? That'll be fun.
Mm.
If you're gonna do it, you might as well do it, right? So, man, what other stories have you been working on, Phil? That I mean, I know Kai has been taking up a lot of your time. That's fascinating. We're here to help. And you did send me a message earlier saying we should use this network to help people. And this is certainly something that I mean, what after seeing your reading your article and listening to your interview.
He was interviewed by Jimmy. Is that Jimmy Kimmel?
Yeah, Jimmy Kimmel did one. But you have to listen to Phil's if you haven't. It's right on the Goldwater, thegoldwater.com, folks. We're behind this guy. I mean, there's definitely something that needs to be done.
Mm-hmm.
And
You can't just hold someone without. I mean, that's what habeas corpus and the first process of due process is the speedy trial bit.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't sound like that's going on. That's why I was like, how was he sentenced? Okay.
Yeah.
And $3
Like,
million in bail? What the hell?
uh-huh. And I've talked to actual lawyers who, I'd chatted with Lindy Urso briefly on Facebook and other folks, and they've just, it's really just baffling. It's like, wait a minute, and the fact that this is happening right now, what's scary is I bet this happened a bunch.
Oh man.
You
Yeah,
know?
let's figure out how, because that type of crime, and I mean it's the victim is now the victim, really
Mhm.
the victim. Um, that type of crime is habitual. These people do that over and over. This is not the
Yeah.
first time. So maybe one way to help him is to figure out who else it happened to, because
Mhm.
you know that these people. I mean, these people, if they are so arrogant to get away with this, and uh,
Right.
uh, it's pure $3 million. That's insanity.
Mhm.
I mean, why is this guy not out on bail?
Right.
Incredible under the circumstances. Um,
They don't want it to they don't want it to see trial. Yeah.
well, too bad. You know what? I think we should start digging. Let's dig deeper. I mean,
Mhm.
because he's not the only victim. I'm sure that this has happened to other people. And if they weren't
Yeah.
raped, they were screwed in
Sadly.
business. So, yeah, let's turn up the heat. Let's bring out a couple extra bottles of propane. Let's start thinking about our detonating devices.
Mhm.
Because, yeah, this definitely, let's blow up that whole county. Absolutely. And I mean that figuratively, obviously. So,
Right, right,
yeah,
right.
So
I'm not
Phil interviewed him on the
in
in
for
the jail.
prison. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a great interview.
Mm-hmm.
Really great. And apparently we've got a lot more to come. We're going to feature it on the Goldwater, and we're going to keep covering it. And I think
Mhm.
we should go even more. I think we should figure out, we should spotlight that county. Spotlight the whole thing. Put the pressure on. Why not?
Why not?
Yeah.
And you were asking, and apart from that, the other two, I guess crusades this week. Tiffany Walker Young in Florida, her son, an honor student who was taking robotics and maritime studies because he's a Coast Guard cadet hopeful. Honor student who takes CBD oil. Now, keep in mind, this was non psychoactive, hemp based CBD oil. But, the administrators and the police who were called when it was anonymously tipped off that he had some kind of weed product, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, the he's facing a potential felony. This 15-year-old kid, honor student. The last I heard from his mom, Tiffany, is that he's having anxiety attacks, just with all he's facing. Then definitely want to mention Chaya Ahmet, who evidently now get this, before Bill Cosby, there was Bill Cosby, and then there was the astrophysics sexual harassment scandal, and then finally the hashtag Me Too campaign. Me Too brought back up the stories of Neil deGrasse Tyson and this chick who was a grad student at the same time as Neil deGrasse Tyson at University of Texas, has alleged that she was drugged and raped by Neil deGrasse Tyson. And it never made any waves. And people assume that means there's nothing to it. But you remember the Robert Scoble story, the guy who was a frontman for Apple? If you're a frontman for Apple, or you're one of these folks that you're a spokesman for something, air quotes, important, they're gonna protect you. That's why, once again, the Goldwater scooped everybody. We were hours and hours ahead of anybody because nobody wanted to touch that story with a 10-foot pole.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that the story wasn't true, it was that nobody wanted to talk about Robert Scoble. Neil deGrasse Tyson is even more widely loved and widely known and fawned over in the media. So, but from a CCNY professor, Professor Hauntus Farmer, said that there was a police report filed. I'm talking to Chaya through Twitter DMs right now, and she said that she mentioned, who was it? I'm not going to name any names because this stuff hasn't come out yet, but she talked to a therapist with the who worked for the University of Texas, and she basically told her, "Listen, you just need to drop out. Astronomy's not for you anyways. Don't report that you were raped." Just this horrible, horrible advice. Like she said, she wants. It's not just Neil deGrasse Tyson. There were a couple of professors. There was a student at Oberlin. She was raped, and if you know anything about abuse, people are like, well, why didn't she? You don't understand, when someone has their most intimate boundaries violently assaulted, they tend to have boundary issues and confidence issues and issues speaking up. That's why they get victimized over and over again. So I'm totally willing to believe that it's quite possible that because of that, that's why she, stayed quiet for so long. But can you imagine if somebody like Bill Cosby or Neil deGrasse Tyson raped you, and then you just have to sit and see them? Like, I saw in one of the things she was writing, she has PTSD over all this crap, and it must be horrible seeing, your victimizer, your rapist, just grow in fame and amass wealth and all this crap, while you've had, not only your life ruined, but the entire course of your future was changed as a result. But
Terrible.
yeah.
Man. So, hey, I was going to ask you, did you get a chance to do any cooking?
I haven't yet. My little brother actually did a funny video about making chili. That
Mix
Crunch McSlam Fist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
What is that?
It's something like, it's
Crunch
first off, go F
McSlam
yourself.
Fist.
But yeah, it's it's a very, very sarcastic but very on point how to make chili. It's
Chili?
poor man's chili, basically.
Poor man's.
Great value tomatoes on up.
That's awesome.
It's a great value because it says right there on the can.
I have no idea what
Well,
it is.
Phil's brother is Crunch McSlam Fist. Which is
I taught him
I
everything he
probably
knows.
one of the-
Everything he knows. That didn't take long.
Is that one of our writers?
He's
actually
contributed.
done
Yeah.
2 or 3 articles.
Yeah.
He's sent in.
We collaborated on one piece, and he's written a couple others. Yeah,
Yeah.
we've got the same sense of humor, only he's a little harsher. Like, okay, to
How old
explain
is
how
his brother? How old is
how
your
our
brother?
brother dynamic goes. Like, we both discovered 4chan and trolling. I discovered it a few years sooner because I'm the older brother, but like eventually we were on the same page and we go on trolling campaigns together. But to explain the
Trolling
difference between our
campaigns.
trolling dynamic, he would have the idea, hey, let's go troll this group of kids with Asperger's. And I'd be like, yeah, that'll be fun. And then after a while, I'm like, I'm not role playing anymore. I think I really have Asperger's and I like these people.
I remember. I think the first time that I started trolling, and this was probably. Do you know the actor D.B. Sweeney?
Oh, I know I've seen the name, so I know I've seen him in something. Is that like early 90s?
Yeah,
or
yeah,
something?
and he's
I
just
can
kind
see
of
the
like.
name in type, and it's like it was an early 90s movie.
Yeah,
but I
he was
cannot
in
place.
probably his like more famous movie was with Charlie Sheen, where they were stealing Porsches in L.A. and that's they were car thieves. But he's and he was in an ice skating movie, and he's been in a couple other stuff. And I mean, he's a decent actor, but for some reason I just don't like him. I don't know. I just chose him out of all the people to hate. So you go to the fan page, and naturally, I don't know why. I don't know what came over me, but I could. There's something about DB Sweeney fans it's so easy to get under their skin. It's really just, it's so easy. I know this sounds petty or something, but it's just fun to have this random person, and I'm sure, I don't know, I've never met the man himself. I'm sure he's a wonderful person and he's not gay, but it's just so much fun to imply something or to insinuate that something happened regarding this random actor. And I don't know who walks around in life. That's the other curiosity. It's like, I'm sure he's got friends and family, okay, but I mean, who is a DB Sweeney fan? I mean, you have to be like a really particular person to be a DB Sweeney fan, I mean, and to spend your life maintaining a web page. So they're very easily offended people, let's put it that way. I mean, it's just way too easy. And I started out trolling that way. And I'd say, it's I don't have any problem with him being homosexual. Oh, he's not gay. And I'm like, no, it's fine. I've got lots of gay friends. I mean, you get into that circular thing. It's like, who are you to say this? I don't really care. I mean, why? Do you not like homosexuals?
I know what they say about him and the gerbils, but I
That's
still think
Richard
he's
Gere.
a stand-up act.
Yeah, that Richard Gere story, that goes back to the 1980s, and that's one that stuck.
Really? It's that? Yeah.
I mean, that one really stuck. It's like, wow. We should do a story on urban legends, maybe create one. An urban legend.
What kind of urban legend would you want to do?
I don't know. I mean, the
Like,
ones that
What's
stick.
on your mind?
Okay. Well, you had
Like the worm?
well, no, the worm is
You're
real.
gonna turn it into a superhero.
Okay.
Oh, you're gonna be a superhero. After
I
you
can
drink
tell you,
that
worms
milk
in cans of carbonated milk are very real. Very, very real. That is not.
Where is it?
I don't know. Where's the
it's-
worm? Yeah, we need that. That's evidence.
Chill.
We should
We're
start
gonna
a
force them to pay for our
change.org
bandwidth
petition.
for the next month.
No more Korean worms in Filipino carbonated milk.
Correct.
We the people, we the free people of the world demand.
Do we
Are
insist?
you
No
are you
more
afraid
worms.
of spiders?
Am I afraid of spiders?
You
I mean,
and
I
your
don't
dog.
like them, but they don't like
about-
generally make me jump. It depends.
It depends. How about burdock?
There's a lot of spiders out here in the country, so I wake up with bites sometimes.
Oh, how's Julio?
Oh, okay.
Have you seen him?
Yeah. All right. Here's the update, folks.
Okay, Julio.
I don't
Julio
know.
update.
Can we put a well, we need to put a picture.
Of
Did we-
Julio.
Well, I can't even log into Slack here. So, did you guys get the picture of?
Yeah, what is
Kirby?
it? Is it a
No.
grasshopper or a
Yeah.
praying
Where did you
mantis?
send it?
I put it in Spawn somewhere, or yeah, I think
you
it was
have
in
other friend, Kirby.
Yeah,
Is that Kirby?
Kirby lost a leg. Okay. Here's the lowdown on this. Okay, Kirby. This is important for everybody because there's a lot of lessons to be learned here. Okay. He's on. It was from Slack, and I can't.
Which
and then I
one?
also
What
have the
channel?
cocktail
What
video,
channel?
and I can't even log into Slack here. I don't know what's going on here. It should be in Spawn,
Oh.
I think, but I sent it like a couple days ago.
Oh.
So here's a story with Kirby. Kirby, it should be in Spawn, Spontaneous. Are you?
I can find it. I can find it.
Oh, great. Okay, yeah, it's that. You remember, it's a picture of a grasshopper.
that Kirby?
That's Kirby.
You really had grasshopper in your apartment.
Yeah,
We're in the city.
He lives there.
I don't think there's a grasshopper here.
Well,
Where there's bees.
Okay, so Julio is my resident gecko. And he's a wily little one, and I mean, he does his own thing. I mean, and I love having geckos. Geckos are great, especially if you're on a boat. You always want a gecko
Why?
because they eat insects, and you don't like insects. You don't want insects on your boat, so you might as well have a gecko. And geckos are cool. You can actually hang out with them. They like music, and they're fun.
You can hang out with geckos.
I have a very good gecko friend in Panama who I would go to the same room in the hotel, and this is right across from the U.S. Embassy in Panama City, and it's room 302, and I would go and book room 302, and I know the gecko there. His name's Herman, and a very good friend. He comes over the bedpost and he'll hang out. He'll even get on my shoulder.
Ew.
Okay, and we hang out, and it's fun. Now Julio's a little he's wily, and so but I like having him in the place. So when we brought Kirby back, who is this grasshopper that we met over at Gilligan's, and Kirby was hanging out on the window, and he looked like he needed some fun in his life, so we brought him back to my place. We put him in a glass jar to start with, a big one, and I gave him some oats and a paper towel with with the little moisture on it, and then we got drunk that night and put a speaker on top of the jar, and I have a speaker that's almost the exact circumference of the jar, and turned it all the way up to 100% and played Back in Black from
Back in Black.
AC/DC. Yeah, the song
Uh,
Back in Black. You would know it. And Kirby certainly won't forget it ever. He's in a glass jar. And, so anyway,
that's a torture.
so yeah, it's a form of, we were doing MK Ultra on Kirby. We were doing our own
You
form.
and Jane?
Yeah, of
Oh my
course. Oh my God, she was worse than I was. Okay. So anyway, but then after he went through our program, our mind program, we let him out. I mean, he's not going to spend his life in a jar. I wouldn't want to be in a jar, so we let him out. And Kirby, he'd go behind the metal suitcase, and then he hung out over there. And then every morning he would come up on the window and get sun, and eat his oats and drink his water, and then go do what he ever does. Whatever they need to do for the rest of the day. But at the same time, I warned him. I said, Julio's around here.
We
You
have
better.
tons of geckos in my hometown.
Oh, well, Julio.
And alley. No, it's not. Monitor lizard.
So apparently,
Yeah.
Kirby wasn't fast enough. So it was 3 days ago, I think. 3 days ago, Kirby was a little bit slower getting up to the window to sun himself, and I went over and I'm like, "Hey, good morning, Kirby," and he looked at me and I was like, "Well, screw you too," because he
Leave
gave
me
me
alone.
he gave me this look like, "Oh, you're such an asshole." I'm like, "Well, fuck you too," and then I walked, I just went around my day, and about an hour later, I went back over and I'm like, "Are you in a better mood?" And I looked, and his leg was gone.
He got amputated.
Kirby was attacked by Julio, and
Oh.
Julio ate his leg.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and so that's a picture that we were trying to.
Gecko eats insects and mosquitoes.
Yeah,
and
well,
flies.
and Kirby's a big dude. So I mean, Julio.
Like that?
No, he's about maybe an inch, like about that. His antennae are
2
really
inch?
long. No, about an inch and a half, maybe.
Yeah.
So not huge. I mean,
Like that. Oh my god.
But no,
like in the one in the province, they're more
Oh, yeah,
huge.
yeah.
Oh, they eat them in the province.
was
That's
that
why
an
maybe
earthquake? Was there an,
earthquake. No.
Do they fry them or like candy
not
them or what? Or just eat them plain raw?
Are we having earthquake right
I
now?
don't know. I thought I felt something. I would. Well,
No.
I think that they fry them, and at least in Vietnam they do.
Mm. They fry them and then they will cook them like the adobo style. I ate one.
Oh,
I know in Thailand there's a giant cockroach. It's bigger than a palmetto bug even. They call it the mang da.
Oh.
Have you been to
Which
Thailand?
yeah, in Thailand it's a giant water bug,
Oh, I
and
think
they use it to make nam preek, which goes in like a certain type of curry dish. So it's like,
Wow.
yeah, I wish I didn't know that because I like Thai food.
Oh, have you tried some when you went to Thailand?
No,
Oh, I've never been to Thailand. I've never been
No, we're not
overseas, honestly.
been to Thailand.
But yeah, I love Thai food.
I love Thai food and Vietnamese food.
yeah, I ate different things in Thailand.
Other than that, I know you guys did
I'd
I
never really
already
had
know
much
you from
Vietnamese until
head to
recently.
toe. Come on, and then we should go next.
Oh, you want to go?
I want to go.
Oh, okay, all
Please
right.
take me. Take
Oh,
me.
wow.
Please, it's my birthday soon.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
I want to bat the elephant.
No, and there's some crazy. We need to go to that bar. That one place where.
Tokyo.
No.
Oh, there's
the,
one in Tokyo.
No, the place in Thailand that we went to. That
I was looking.
remember with my cousin.
This story's going downhill.
It's going way downhill.
I am trying to look. I'm trying when I was in Japan. I was trying we went into like the most lively part of the city.
Mhm.
We stayed there for like 3 days. I don't know. Like I'm just trying to find a red light street.
Oh, you're trying to. Oh,
I'm trying
okay.
to find.
Well, tell us
I'm-
about.
I'm
Yeah, tell us
searching
what
Google.
happened. And yeah, you just got back from Tokyo, so tell us
It's
what.
not Tokyo.
Oh, were you? But you were in Japan.
I'm in
You
Japan.
You weren't just in underneath an underpass somewhere in Manila telling people that you were in Tokyo. You actually did go.
I actually did go. I went
Tell
to
us about it. What
Osaka.
happened? How did it happen? I mean, was it what you expected?
Well,
People speak
it's like-
Japanese there, don't they?
yeah, and they're very polite there.
Yeah. Isn't it cool to be impolite?
Yeah, it's cool to be impolite. And I was like, well, no, I think I liked it there.
Yeah.
And I already got their accent of saying arigato gozaimasu. Arigato gozaimasu.
Oh.
Ohayou gozaimasu. That's and when it's some people, like most of the people there, they don't really speak English.
English.
But the people that works in the hotel, they speak English. And when
Karimasen?
I always say, yeah, wakarimasen.
Yeah. That's I don't know or
And
I
I
don't
just
understand is
say,
like the first thing you learn in any
"Daijoubu."
language.
Yeah. It's a very interesting country and culture. I went to the castles and then to the province.
So how was the food? What?
Oh my god. The food?
Mhm.
Oh my god. It's like if you're gonna go to Japan, you just wanna eat
Mhm.
everything. But I'm not really into raw foods, though I tried. But in every bite, I'm like gonna puke. Huh?
Air 21.
Are we having
Oh,
a
that's Donald Trump. for
letter? That's a letter.
It's Air Force One.
Air Force
Air
One.
21 po ba?
Tell him to say 21 Bravo.
Po ba yun?
He's trying to
Ah,
get a
wait
hold
lang.
of me.
Tatanungin ko lang po muna.
Trump is.
Yeah.
God,
We
he's
don't have
always
delivery.
he's always calling.
Wrong.
So
So yeah, it's a very interesting place, and I have lots of clips. Like I'm gonna make a vlog.
right
of
on.
it. Yeah. It's
Very
just
cool.
like a lot.
Deliver
It's
yung ano.
yeah, it's a very interesting trip
Nice.
to go there. And I like Japan traffic
Yeah.
because
Opo.
the first mode of transportation that they use there is the train.
hmm
There's no traffic.
Do you like?
And you're
the-
gonna go in your destination
Maybe
just
white
really
line
like
or-
on time.
Now,
Unlike in Manila, it's unpredictable.
Yeah. In Osaka, do they still have, like in Tokyo in the subway, the train guys that are there that are,
They bow in the
Grope
train.
you?
and they've got the
They bow in
old
the
they've got
plane.
the old
They bow in
school
the silent.
that light, you know,
But-
that and they hang on to that light. It's like an old school light. It looks like it was made in the 1920s. What do they call that?
I don't know, but yeah, they used to do that. Train guys.
Wait.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not necessary, but it seems to be part of their tradition or something that they've got this light that is like a big box light that looks like it was made in the 1920s.
It's like a box.
Yeah,
that they carry.
It's almost like a wooden box that they carry. It looks like it was made in the 20s, and it's
I've seen some of the trained people, like if someone is in the wheelchair, they have this platform that they can, they can fold and unfold, and the wheelchair, they will roll it.
huh.
Yeah,
Well, that's cool.
it's very cool.
I've heard that there was a clothing designer because groping is a problem on the trains in Japan.
Groping.
Groping, like guys
They're
grabbing.
they're
doing,
wearing too much dress in Japan.
doing a little grab ass. I mean, for
You can grab it.
for sport. But there was a clothing designer that is selling clothing to women, and maybe I don't know guys that who would wear this, but women that it has when you put it on, it's basically got nails and pins that come out of it, like
What?
you're a porcupine,
Oh yeah.
so that it hurts. Anyone that touches you is going to get stuck.
I haven't.
Yeah, and there's clothing that you can wear, and it's designed by I think he was in Tokyo, this clothing designer for anti-groping, a line of
Wait, I'll check.
anti-groping clothing. I don't know if I would date a girl that would ever wear something like that. Because it's probably, the first woman that buys it is probably somebody that you wouldn't want to grope in the first place. I would think.
All the hot girls dress sexy because they want guys to
To
be
be
attracted to them.
Yeah.
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 So,
Case closed.
yeah, and this whole thing, okay, I mean, I love the fact that
that's true.
Hollywood is imploding. I love the fact when I read that all of these films are bombing because, all the sexual harassment. Hollywood needs to be flushed down the toilet.
Japanese people are very sexual.
Yeah,
Though
well,
they're
but
not
they're
really
in the weirdest
very,
way, though.
Yeah, they're so like okay. I went to this store
Okay,
and
yeah.
I'm with Jocelyn, right?
Oh, right. Okay, yeah. She's super cool.
Yes.
Oh, man.
And we went to this store. They're like in the outside. They're selling like the souvenirs and like some clothing there. When you enter, there's like dildos everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like,
Yeah.
I was like,
Oh.
I was like, oh my god. And Jocelyn is like,
She-
I was like,
Kid in a
what are
candy
we
store?
doing here?
Did she
Just
get a
speak.
Did she get a discount card?
No. We can take it home.
Well, I had a very kind host. I've only been to Japan once, and I had a very kind host show me around. And one of the places he took me was this. What section of the city was that, Toby? Where
Kabukicho.
Kabuchi
Kabukicho.
Kabukicho?
What have you seen there? What did you see?
It's 4 or 5 stories of
A bar?
no.
A sex store?
All of it.
Oh
Yeah,
my god!
100%.
That's my wonderland.
And it goes like I think the further down you go, the worse it gets.
Oh, we
So
should-
like they do have like the
Like,
real
that's
dungeon,
like
like
in
chips,
Tokyo?
dips, chains, whips down
Oh.
below, and then up top they've got like feathers and things like that,
like the
and then DVDs. But what's more interesting is not looking at the shop itself,
mhm.
but all the people in it. They're just openly, and there's porn going all around you. There's just porn playing on all different screens in that area.
I would want to bring a virgin guy there and see how he will react,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like
Well, actually, that would be a great place to.
Is he going to get a boner just seeing those, porn?
A boner,
Right? I just want to take someone there to just
You're gonna
embarrass.
terrorize this poor kid.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's gonna be fun, right?
Yeah. Say, hey, ask him out for dinner, and then
Dinner just go to Tokyo.
and then say, well, do you mind if we drop by this place before we, maybe have a drink first?
It needs to be a young guy,
Yeah.
like 18 at least.
no,
18.
14.
No, you want me to get
What is the age of consent in the Philippines?
18?
18. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
So yeah.
I think we've covered that. Anything else in Japan that we should know about?
The milk
The milk? Does it
tastes
have
so
worms in
good.
it?
Doesn't have worms in it.
No worms. Okay. No,
Very
it's not like
good.
Korea.
And
Do they still have that trend of militarized vehicles? This was like 4 or 5 years ago, but like I know they aren't allowed to have like guns or something, but like I heard, like the trend was to, make your vehicle look as much like a tank or warlike as possible,
Oh, I haven't
which
seen.
is weird because there's
Their
no
cars
space.
are so cute.
Mhm.
And Japanese houses are so cute.
Oh, and
It's like so
you're driving.
tiny.
Yeah, you're driving their right hand.
Everything-
Their
yeah,
right hand
yeah.
drives. So that's the other thing. That is so. Yeah. Well, so the second time you've been to, everybody's driving on the opposite side of the road.
Yeah.
That must be a
And
trip
then they
for
have
you.
like the similar taxis
Yeah.
in
Okay.
Hong Kong.
In Hong Kong. Okay.
But they're black. And when you get into the taxi, they have like this fancy clothing. No, like cover of the seat, car seat.
Oh yeah.
And their taxi smells so nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even you're gonna go to Japan, you're gonna go outside, you're gonna come back to your hotel, nothing. It's like you smell nothing.
Well, everybody's still.
It smells
No,
good.
in
Like-
Osaka.
You're gonna go out in our street here, you're gonna step, it smells like EDSA.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
No, are people still in Osaka? I noticed in Tokyo, they're pretty much, it was like 30% of the population wearing masks.
Yeah,
when they
they
go out.
wear masks. Because I think it's so cold in there, like to protect the cold going to your nose.
Well,
And
we had a couple of theories on that. I asked Toby
Mhm.
why that is, and he said some
From the
people
j- from
don't
the-
want to get sick. Some people
don't
don't want
wanna get
other
sick.
people to get sick because
Yeah.
they are sick,
Yes.
Mhm.
and then the other portion are prostitutes going to work.
Huh?
They're using it to hide their identity.
Oh.
Yeah. See.
It because it covers half of your face.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of weird Japanese trends, for a
Or
while
they're-
there, it was
They don't
considered
want
like
to see the train.
it was the height of fashion to like have your arm in a cast or something where it looked like you'd recently been injured. That was an actual Japanese fashion
Trend?
trend.
What?
No.
No,
no,
the more
did they
you
go as far
the
as
more clothes you have.
did they go as far as paying people to break their arms?
Now I'm knowing the Japanese. I'm almost like I can't bank on it, but I feel like that could be quite possibly so.
I think so. Have you ever paid anyone to beat you up?
Paid someone? No, they always do it for free.
But yeah, it's a very peaceful country. Very nice people.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. And even though like the first hotel we checked in, me and Josephine, it's just like a tiny hotel, but the people are so, warm, and they always thought that I'm from Malaysia or like Thailand. And it's like
Does that
Philippine-
offend you?
No,
Okay.
because I look like they can't even say Filipina.
Oh,
Thai. A lady Thai.
brown girl.
Brown girl. Yeah.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. It's a very interesting trip.
Did you thrash the hotel? Did you get
No.
arrested?
No. But Jocelyn
What's the worst thing you did?
Jocelyn is cursing everywhere
Yeah, she's funny.
because our flight got canceled.
Oh
and
yeah.
she's freaking
Well, you got
she's-
hit by the little weather over there,
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
you?
she's like
No.
Oh yeah.
F this airline. We don't even have like a free accommodation.
Oh, they didn't even. So you were delayed 2 days, right?
Yeah. We were
Because of the
canceled because
hurricane or
super
typhoon.
typhoon. It's crazy because there's been like in some part of Osaka and Tokyo hit really hard,
No, Joan Rogelio.
and they had landslide and floods. Floods.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we've been walking in the rain most of the time
Hmm.
with our, yeah. But it's still beautiful place.
So
It's like we went to this bamboo forest and I felt like I'm like dreaming. I'm like just walking into a beautiful place. And we've been into one of the castles there. We've seen remnants and some like from 1,000 years ago.
so you gained a respect.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Mm.
Now when
I
you're
walk
walking.
in the castle, like where the emperor lived before.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know, it used to be that people had so much culturally, and especially this happened in business culture in the 1980s in Japan. People were
Oh,
killing
you know what's
themselves.
fascinating?
Oh, it still happens.
But not as much. You don't hear as much about it,
It's
do
on the
you?
news all the time.
They
People
still
dying
have
over
like
it.
signs up. Like
They
if you
just
go hiking in the mountains,
Oh.
there'll be signs.
And
And
there's
get
a lot
this,
of
this is the way
suicides
they
too.
frame it.
There's a lot of suicide
Please don't
houses,
throw
which is
yourself off
Suicide
this
houses.
mountain because then your family will
It's
have to
really cheap.
deal with the
In Japan,
dishonor of your
there's so many
suicide. Like
thousand
these
houses.
really guilt trippy
There's definitely
Oh.
anti-suicide signs everywhere you might be able to kill
But you
yourself.
can buy those houses super cheap.
Yeah.
There's a
So
lot of them. There's like 8 million
so
houses like that.
our executive Toby here is saying that you can actually get a
Discount.
decent deal on a place where somebody's killed themselves.
Hmm.
So that's something to look for. Maybe there should be a website, Death House, or
Or a hotel,
something
a
like
room.
that.
Hotel
Rooms.
room or condo
TokyoDeathHouse.com.
or
Rooms.
apartment.
Advertise the fact
Find your
that
dream house.
we'll know basically
I will
asking
never buy
price.
those.
Yeah, I mean, in the U.S., I don't know. Okay, so here's
I will
here's a
never
good
buy
question.
one.
Here's actually a really good question. I mean, and it's a misnomer. I think it's state by state that the law, but we're going to need to research this. But let's just talk about what you think is right.
Mm.
If somebody blew their brains out in your house, okay, or let's say that like some killer went in, and let's say you rented your house out to a whole family and Jason came in there and hacked them all apart,
Jason.
and I mean, you're talking about blood everywhere,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
When you turn around and sell that property, do you think that you should be legally required to disclose
That someone died there,
Yeah.
or like it's a suicide scene or
Yeah,
something.
do you think that you should be required to
No.
do that? No? What do you think?
Do you believe with the people that has third eye who see ghosts?
It depends on who died there, if they're friendly or not. Like Maria lives in my place, and
I think
Oh.
it's. I think
Yeah.
in full disclosure and out of fairness, yeah, that you should.
So
should
you
mention
say that, okay, so
Just to be fair,
All
that
right.
someone died,
Yeah.
and then that's where the discount will come.
I think that if it's a friendly,
So
you should
like
advertise the
Casper.
fact. Advertise the fact. No, because there's like, I don't know. I think the reason we have science is because we don't know everything.
Mm-hmm.
This
So-
guy right here is bound to, like he has like a mission to find
Mr.
ghosts.
Max, do you
Yeah.
believe you? Oh, you're
He's
a ghost.
not afraid of everything.
You're
He's
a
not
ghost
afraid
hunter?
of ghosts. Yeah.
You
he
should
wants
come
to
hang
hunt
out
for-
with Maria.
Yeah.
Maria.
Maria in his
Maria
apartment.
is like,
Battenberg.
yeah,
No,
and
no.
this
The
is
ghost
this
in
is
his
real.
house.
This is real. Absolutely real. In
mean-
fact, I had an experience night before last.
Oh
Do you
yeah.
have the
Yeah.
lucid dream?
Ooh, this getting spooky.
Oh, it is. We're on Halloween, and this is
Yeah.
real. This is real. So
Oh
I
my
have-
God, no battery.
I have three other people. I've got Julio. Well, hopefully
Julio, you have Kirby.
Kirby is hopefully alive. We haven't seen him today.
You said you have a friend. Is that?
And Maria.
Oh,
And then
you're not alone in your apartment.
Well, now Jane is pretty much with
Maybe like-
with me.
Many. Yeah.
So I've got lots of company.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I've heard June's apartment is haunted.
June's place is haunted, really?
June's.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
He's hearing something like on his loft.
Uh
Yeah.
oh. We have a thing with coins. Okay. So that-
Coins, yeah. The
Oh
other
my
day,
God.
the other night, I've heard that
What
too.
is it with
before
Filipino
I left.
ghosts and coins?
There's
What is
coins
the deal?
dropping.
No, they
There's
fly.
coins.
We've had coins fly.
Yes.
And we throw food at each other, and we're always throwing stuff
There's
at each
noodles
other.
on your ceiling.
Yeah, I know. There's eggs. I mean, there's like we throw. I mean, it's a disaster, but we're a couple of kids, but we'll be sitting there, and I'll just be working, and a coin will come by, and I'm like, stop it, all right, already, stop it.
Maria.
And I'll look, and no, she's not even in the apartment. Or she's in the shower.
Oh my God.
And it's happened, and I've heard her, I'll be cooking, and I
hate it.
swear, okay, I am not throwing anything at her, but things are flying, and it's usually coins.
Yesterday, like I went to my parents, right? And my nephews and nieces are there. Freaking Legos flying.
Really?
Legos, like they're having war. My nephew threw a Lego on my face saying grenade. Oh my God. And he's holding a gun and saying he's a sniper.
Is it a real gun?
No, it's like made out of Legos. I made them guns.
Oh, hey, we need to go shooting. We're gonna go to the range. Maybe later today or tomorrow.
Where? In
I don't
Manila?
know.
There's one in like 2 hours away from here.
I was gonna ask Toby where we should go. They told me at the
There's-
gun store where there's a place
We
in
should
the
go
city.
go to the archery.
We should do archery, but I want to.
Shoot.
Yeah, I want to shoot especially some handguns. Just
There's
basically
one
a
in
380, and I need
Angeles.
to have. Everybody should have a gun.
Anyways, where's Joe Gasser? I'm here.
Yeah, Jew Gasser. What's
Hello,
up?
hello, hello.
I've been busy for the past week.
Jew Gasser.
Hello,
was the
hello,
worm
hello.
in the milk.
Yeah.
Okay. You are the worm in
Can
my
you hear me?
milk.
Gasser is the worm in the milk.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
It's still here.
Oh yeah, we got to keep that. I'm
I
gonna
was-
freeze dry it or something.
I should have bought that
I dare you to eat it.
spider
I dare you.
to scare you.
I dare
I
you.
dare
Hello,
you
hello?
to eat it.
All right. Yeah. How much? All right. Let's start putting money down. Whoever eats it first. I'm gonna open up the bidding at 500 pesos. 500 pesos. Do I hear 500? 500. 500. Going once.
Oh my
Going once.
God,
500
no.
pesos.
No,
500
no,
pesos.
no
Eat
one
the
is
warrant.
interested
We're
because
going
it's
over.
gross.
We're going over. Toby. No. Jacob Max. 500 pesos.
Wait,
500 pesos.
I
Eat
think
the
Joe
worm. Eat the
Gasser is in
worm.
the call.
500 pesos.
500.
500 pesos. Eat the worm.
Yeah, how much?
500. Do I hear 500? 500. That's 750. 750. 750. 750.
low.
Going up.
Hello,
750
hello.
going once. 750 pesos.
Joe
Hello?
Gasser is in the call. He said
Can you hear me?
$1,000. I'm gonna eat this.
Yeah.
I'm
Are
paying
we
750.
clear?
Is that Jew
$1,000.
Gasser?
I'm gonna eat the worm.
It's not. I think it's not.
For 1,000 pesos?
It's green peas.
Are you really gonna eat the worm for 1,000 pesos?
Yes.
All right. Let's watch it. Let's get this
Oh,
on.
did I say yes?
Yeah. Okay. And no, but the only deal is you can't puke.
It's not. I think
It's not a worm.
I think it's not a word.
It's a green pea.
Yeah, green
It's like a snack.
skin.
Oh well, then that's not worth 1,000
It's not.
pesos.
Yeah, I am very honest.
Just eat it for fun.
It came out
Do
of
we have
nowhere.
Jew Gasser on the line?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yes, if you can hear me.
Hey,
happy
Jew
Halloween.
Gasser,
Oh,
how you
hello,
doing?
hello. Good. How are you all doing?
Every day's a holiday.
Good.
Fairly.
What's
Good,
your
that's good to
costume?
hear. Oh, I had a really good
Naked?
costume. I can't tell you though.
Oh no.
But how are you, Diana? I know it's been a little bit. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you bastard.
I know. I've been busy.
Yeah, right.
How have
right.
how have you
Busy
been?
too.
Have you been gassing?
Yeah, busy gassing.
Yeah, a little bit, But I do want to say thank you, Goldwater, because I almost forgot to breathe and then you guys
Oh
remind me.
no!
So
Yeah.
you
Don't forget
saved
to
my
breathe,
life.
everyone.
Yeah, don't forget
Yeah,
to
so
breathe.
thank you very much for that.
Yeah.
But I will say that I believe on the YouTube title there's a grammatical error. It says
Uh-oh.
"Don't forget to breath,"
Breath.
Oh,
and
that's not
I
I think
didn't
good.
see that until
somebody
you
should get
pointed it
fired
out
over
just
that.
now.
Yeah.
It's probably Jacob's fault.
See,
Hashtag
it's
fire
about-
Jacob.
Oh no. Can we correct that?
Yeah.
Can
You
you
should
nix
put
the
the-
E? Nix the E on our
The
YouTube.
Yeah, we can edit that.
Yeah.
That's
just-
completely
Anyways,
unacceptable
Sorry
yeah.
about
standards.
that. Thank you for bringing that to our attention.
That's what I'm here for. That's why you need Gasser on the Goldwater.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So what's shaking in your disco, man? It's been a while.
Yeah, like I said, I've been busy.
Gassing,
just,
I know.
Gassen and
Things have been hard lately, to be honest.
oh.
You
Do you
know,
need money?
sometimes,
Just
sometimes life just takes
How
a fart
much
on
do
you.
you need?
How much is it this time?
Yeah.
Okay, well, maybe 1,000 pesos.
Okay. Do you want to
that's,
eat?
that's like $30.
All right. I'm gonna
Yeah, I'll
send
eat
you
whatever
1,000
for 1,000
pesos and a
pesos.
worm.
Yeah.
Okay.
And my used clothes.
Oh no.
No, that has
you should
Diana.
pay.
the smell. On,
Yeah, but
that
you have to
has my
sell
smell.
those, okay?
I have. Oh no, I'm sorry.
You have to sell those.
I'm gonna
Diana, I'm
start
confused
selling
by your
those.
devil horns because I thought you were an angel.
No, I'm not an angel. This is my true self.
Yeah,
Oh no,
Yeah.
shining through.
I never knew.
Just
I thought you were a
ask
good
Bird Dog
girl.
everything about me. He knows.
Alarm?
Yeah. No, it's the on and off.
Oh.
So what's your plan tonight? I'm gonna see you in the bar. Come
Yeah,
with
yeah.
the like.
Let me know where you're going. I'll be there.
I'm gonna dress like the banana, and you'll be the other
Sweet.
banana.
We can rub our bananas together.
Oh my
no,
god.
this is getting bad.
This is getting bad. Why did I say that I'm banana? Wait.
Mm.
Wait. How about
I'm sorry, I can't control myself.
Yeah. No,
Aw.
you're the best. We really appreciate
Yeah, you're
you
the
guys.
best. We can rub our
Oh, thanks.
bananas. It's okay. No problem.
Oh, sweet. I'm gonna look forward to that. All right, just let me know where you're going, and I'll go shooting with you too.
Yeah, we'll go shooting and
Let's go shooting. I'm gonna see you in the archery.
well, you know, the
Shop.
problem is the archery's in the mall and
Yeah,
you
it's
should
in the
need to do
mall.
archery outside and here's one reason why.
Why?
Have you ever shot an arrow directly up?
No, they won't let you.
I know, but I mean, if you can imagine, you shoot an arrow directly up and then you run. And you don't know what direction to run.
I'm gonna shoot it up.
'Cause it's gonna come
and you're
down.
gonna stand there.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
that's the plan.
You know what we used to do when we were kids? Lawn darts. They don't sell them anymore because so many kids got killed by them. But what you do is you
So
throw
many
a
kids
lawn
got
dart
killed.
as high as you can up in the air and then run.
That's fun.
But an arrow is even better because you lose sight of it. It goes way up and then it's going to come down and
Is
hopefully
it gonna come down like that?
it comes straight
Or
down. It comes
it's
straight
gonna
down.
flip?
You need to find cover or
Oh damn!
you know, I
If
mean
it's you're gonna shoot it up and then it will gonna go down with like the thing.
and hopefully it doesn't go directly into your skull. That's the whole point of it. Yeah, that's why you shoot an arrow straight up. It's a really weird feeling because at that moment you really are not in control of your own humanity. Okay. So don't forget to breathe, folks.
Don't forget the breath.
Breath.
Oh,
yeah.
thank you. Yeah, don't forget the breath.
everyone. Thanks for joining.
We appreciate Jew Gasser.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for the call. We
Please
appreciate
call in early
always-
next week.
Yeah, call in
We
early.
want
Yeah,
to
I'm
hear
sorry, I've
from
been
you.
busy.
Man,
But hey,
a little bit more.
Diana.
Yeah.
If my math is correct, I do believe that next week is our 1 year anniversary.
Oh no!
Oh my god!
Wow, a year.
Yep.
I can't believe this. This is the long relationship.
And oh wow,
I know,
We
it's
should
a very
pull up-
special occasion,
You know what?
so-
We need to go and
Drew Gasser
pull,
and Diana special.
we need to pull up the original log from the first messages that he ever
Oh,
sent
he's really
you.
rude.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
we need
we'll
to
see.
start with
Here's-
that.
here's
We'll
the-
do a
here's the
1
deal
year
about that.
Jew Gasser special.
Our love.
Yeah,
You could see
how
my
it started.
transformation because
Sorry.
when I first came to these streams, you know, I had a lot of hate in my heart.
Yes,
Then I
you
found
did.
Diana's love,
Yes.
and Diana's
He has
love
a lot of
penetrated.
pain in his heart.
And then we had an attempted Jew Gasser 2.0, and you came to her rescue.
Aw.
And that's when we knew that you were a special part of this show.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, thank
It's
you.
been a quite a journey, and thank you for being on the ride.
Well, we greatly appreciate your company. And Phil, our esteemed co-host, and everybody,
It's always
please go to
fun.
thegoldwater.com, check out the article, the interview that he did with Kai the Hatchet Man. Incredible
Hitchhiker.
stuff. Kai the Hitchhiker, the Hatchet Man.
Hatchet.
The
Hatchet
hatchet wielding hitchhiker, they called him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, pill.
We need to put some more energy and light on this subject. We're going to go full steam on it. And maybe to take a look at that whole county and see what the hell's wrong with it.
Yeah.
But,
'Cause this
The
can't
air
be the
is
only
wrong in
case.
that county.
absolutely.
They
Something's-
should not breathe the air.
Yeah, they forgot to breathe, or they're breathing the wrong thing.
Yeah.
But Phil, as always, our esteemed co-host, thank you so much.
Looking forward for
guys
his
for having me.
visit.
Yeah. Oh man,
Right?
we are gonna have so
Yeah.
much fun. Oh man, you seriously, I don't. I'm not even gonna go
And I
beyond
think
that.
for the Diana and Jugasser special, we're gonna do some trip with Jugasser.
Oh yeah, we should.
Hell yeah,
we'll
I'll be
take
on my
the-
way. I'm coming
I'm gonna
to
meet
Manila
you
next
in.
week.
What about I'm gonna meet him in Indonesia?
Oh,
I'm gonna
wow.
go Bali.
Go to Bali.
Bali,
yeah.
baby.
Damn.
Do you know how to ride a motorbike?
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Sure.
I'm so excited!
Wow.
Adventure.
Wow.
Right?
That sounds fun.
And then I'm gonna push him in the cliff.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's his death. No,
That's okay.
no. I'm gonna do like the opposite of that.
So we've got lots of plans.
Yeah, we've got lots of plans.
Want to wish happy Halloween to everybody.
Yeah, happy Halloween.
And
Keep gassing, baby.
also need to.
Oh, I will, babe.
Obviously,
Yeah.
the requisite. Our good friend Redfoot. He's a contributor for the Goldwater, and he runs the channel 8ch.net/flat
Flat.
horizon. So if you're
The
interested,
flat. The
if
flat.
you're interested, take a look in there. There's some interesting arguments. I mean, for the sake of argument, take a look. Just take a look. All right. I happen to be a baller. I'm still a baller, but
I'm a
please,
baller.
but take a look. See what's going on. It's really interesting stuff. I also want to point out his website, which is labvirus.com. Again, I keep saying this to everybody, but if you haven't been there, go. You're talking about a decade, maybe 13, 14 years. Ever since I've known this man, he's had that site, and it is wow.
This Redfoot has a very long hair with a biker guy or something.
He used to, but no, his hair's short now.
Like,
Yeah. But he does have, I mean, you should see his bikes. You want to talk about riding through Bali on he's got Harleys.
the big bike.
Okay, he's got,
Harley
incredible,
Davidson.
two. Actually, he has 4 motorcycles.
Wow.
Yeah.
So sexy.
Yeah, well, and he's got friends that are actually Hell's Angels. So, and I want to actually compliment the Hell's Angels as well, and a lot of bikers that have been kind of forgotten since Trump was elected. Those guys are still putting up a good fight for the right things, and especially the ones that aren't dealing meth. So, want to say hello to the biker friends out there. Who else do we need to say? Anything to?
We have to mention Jim.
Oh, of course.
Jim.
Senor Cherney.
Senor
Mr.
Cherney saying
Mr.
hi.
Cherney.
Yeah, he's been traveling too.
He's been traveling
Yeah.
quite a bit, and man.
We missed you here.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always a thank you for Mr. Cherney, and wish that we could find a better time. We'll reschedule the show
So he can come.
so he can come. We'll just put it at his leisure. Be great to have him back on the show here.
He's gonna be here. in
Be
the
awesome
center.
at the head of the table.
Head of the table.
Absolutely. Yeah. So we're looking forward to having Jim Cherney
Mm-hmm.
on. I've got a lot of questions. It's been forever. I'm the graveyard guy, so I don't live in the normal world.
You're not normal.
I walk the streets alone at night.
I never see you normal.
So,
Anyways,
on
thank
be-
you guys.
on behalf of the Goldwater, thanks everybody. Appreciate it. Godspeed.
Happy Halloween.
Stay safe. Try
Thank
not
you.
to
Happy
kill
Don't forget to
anyone.
Halloween.
breath.
And
Don't forget to